Why does life feel so tense lately? Prices rise faster than wages, tempers flare in public, and even small disagreements feel personal. Everyone seems angry, yet no one knows exactly who to blame. Inflation feels like more than just numbers on a chart. It seeps into conversations, into family dinners, and even into the way we look at the future. It quietly reshapes what feels fair, safe, or possible. When everything costs more, it's not just goods that become scarce. Empathy does too. Each purchase starts to feel like a competition, each bill a reminder that someone, somewhere, is losing ground. You sense it everywhere in traffic, online comments, and political arguments. Rising costs feed rising emotions. People don't just lose purchasing power, they lose patience, and sometimes even their sense of belonging. Durkheim once warned about this long before modern inflation. He said that when a society changes faster than people can adapt, meaning itself begins to crumble and money becomes only the first symptom. We treat inflation like a technical problem, interest rates, wages, central banks. But beneath all the graphs lies something deeply human: anxiety. Sense that effort no longer guarantees stability or reward. It's the feeling that your hard work buys less each month, that your savings mean less than they used to, and that life's goals keep moving farther away. It's not just about prices, it's about dignity. When people lose faith that society is fair, inflation turns from an economic issue into a moral and emotional one. The market stops feeling like a shared project and starts feeling like a desperate zero-sum game. That's when money stops representing trust and starts representing betrayal and isolation. The breakdown is not in our wallets, but in our shared understanding of what value and connection truly mean. Émile Durkheim lived through the industrial revolutions of the late 19th century. When machines replaced labor and traditions collapsed overnight, it was a time of enormous productivity and deep confusion. Born in France in 1858, Durkheim grew up watching rural communities dissolve as cities expanded. People gained freedom but lost the shared rules that once gave life direction and purpose. He asked, what holds a society together when old beliefs fade and traditions lose their power? If religion once unified people, what replaces it in an age of markets, machines, and relentless competition? Durkheim saw that progress alone doesn't bring peace or harmony. It can also bring loneliness, moral confusion, and an emptiness that no amount of material success or comfort can truly fill. Out of this question came one of sociology's most haunting and enduring ideas: anomie. The breakdown of social norms. When individuals no longer know what's expected, what's meaningful, or where they truly belong. Anomie isn't chaos from the outside, it's decay from within. It's when rules still exist, but no one truly believes in them anymore. Institutions remain, but trust quietly disappears. People start drifting. They follow their desires, but feel lost doing so. The social thread that tied them to others begins to unravel, leaving each person to face uncertainty alone. Durkheim noticed this especially in moments of rapid economic boom or devastating collapse. When fortunes rise or fall too quickly, moral expectations can't keep up. Confusion, resentment, and instability replace any sense of order. He found that despair and self-destruction rose not from poverty itself, but from the loss of moral order, when people no longer understood their place, purpose, or connection to the larger fabric of society. Anomie, he said, is the hidden price of rapid change without shared meaning or moral direction. It's when a society forgets not just its rules, but why it created them in the first place, and what purpose they once served. After World War I, Germany faced one of history's most extreme and terrifying inflations. Prices doubled in hours, sometimes minutes. People carried cash in baskets and wheelbarrows just to buy a single loaf of bread. Workers were paid twice a day, so wages wouldn't lose value by nightfall. But while money lost worth, so did social bonds. Trust in institutions vanished almost overnight. Neighbors turned suspicious. Businesses collapsed. Families argued over not only prices, but over what anything meant anymore: success, honesty, even fairness. Durkheim might have said that money lost meaning because society did, because its shared moral fabric had unraveled. When symbols no longer connect people, they begin to divide them and turn trust into quiet hostility. When stability finally returned, Faith had already eroded beyond repair. Inflation had quietly rewritten how people trusted not only governments, but one another, neighbors, and even their own future. In the 2000s, Zimbabwe's inflation spiraled beyond imagination and comprehension. Billion-dollar bills couldn't buy bread or milk. People eventually stopped counting zeros altogether. Citizens turned to barter, trading food, gas, or labor for basic necessities. When paper money failed, people relied on relationships, networks, and community again, proving that trust is the true and most valuable currency of survival. Durkheim's insight echoes here. When systems collapse completely, people naturally shrink their sense of belonging to smaller circles, family, friends, and local community rather than the broader nation. Money had lost its moral authority and credibility. What replaced it was instinct, improvisation, and resourcefulness. A fragile social fabric patched together over time by necessity and human resilience. During the 1980s, parts of Latin America endured chronic inflation for years. Prices changed daily. Entire generations grew up without ever seeing economic stability. The middle class eroded, savings evaporated, and people learned to live permanently in survival mode. Hope became a fragile luxury, and cynicism a quiet form of emotional protection against disappointment. When value constantly shifts, the future feels unreliable and hollow. People stop believing in promises, institutions, leadership, and even the very idea of progress itself. Durkheim would call this moral exhaustion, not only hunger for food or stability, but a deeper hunger for meaning and direction. It is a longing for belonging that no price, wealth, or reform can ever fully restore. Inflation destabilizes more than economies. It disturbs the rhythm of trust. Without predictability, people can't plan, and without plans, they can't feel hope. Durkheim believes society survives only when individuals see themselves as part of something larger. Meaning isn't found in wealth, but in belonging. When everyone fights alone for stability, the collective spirit erodes. Inflation becomes not an economic event, but a shared spiritual crisis. Durkheim's lesson was simple yet profound. When solidarity weakens, even abundance feels empty. Society's health depends less on price indexes than on shared purpose. Today, inflation's numbers may differ, but the feeling is familiar. Rising costs merge with rising pressure, financial, emotional, digital. Online outrage replaces dialogue. Algorithms reward division. Everyone feels unheard, so everyone shouts louder, a modern version of Durkheim's Anomie. We live in constant motion, but lack direction. More information, less meaning. The noise grows, yet the sense of community fades. When economics, politics, and culture all lose coherence, society doesn't collapse violently, it quietly drifts apart, one person at a time. Inflation, in this deeper sense, is symbolic. It reflects our collective loss of trust, the invisible bond that turns individuals into a society. Durkheim's hope was solidarity, rebuilding shared meaning through education, ritual, and empathy. Not through control, but through connection. The antidote to anomie is belonging, rediscovering the small acts that remind us we're part of something larger than ourselves. Even in times of crisis, trust can return. Inflation may shake structures, but meaning can be rebuilt slowly through shared effort and care. If this idea helped you see inflation in a new light, please hit like, leave a comment, and subscribe for more stories where philosophy meets the modern world.